There is a product dermatologists have used in wound care, burn units, and post-procedure healing for over 100 years. It is not a serum. It is not a peptide complex. It is not anything the skincare industry would ever build a campaign around, because it cannot be marked up to $200 a jar. It is petroleum jelly. And when you understand what it actually does to your skin overnight, at a biological level, you will look at your skincare shelf differently. Not because Vaseline is magic, because the mechanism it uses is the same mechanism every expensive cream is trying to replicate. And most of them can't do it as completely or as cleanly. Here is the thing, nobody in the skincare industry has a financial reason to explain clearly. Most premium moisturizers, the ones in glass jars, with ingredient lists that take 30 seconds to read, priced at $80, $100, $200, are built around one core function: keeping water in the skin overnight. That's it. The peptides, the ceramides, the collagen boosters, their supporting cast. The primary job is occlusion, preventing the water your skin already has from evaporating while you sleep. And the most effective occlusive that exists in skincare, more effective than shea butter, more effective than squalane, more effective than dimethicone, is petrolatum, the active ingredient in a $3 jar of Vaseline. This isn't an opinion. It is documented in clinical research that the skincare industry is fully aware of and has absolutely no incentive to share with you. Because the moment you understand the mechanism, the price argument collapses. And that is exactly what this video is going to do. Let's talk about what is actually happening to your skin while you sleep. Between the hours of approximately 10 at night and 2 in the morning, your skin runs its primary repair cycle. Cellular turnover accelerates. The barrier rebuilds itself. Collagen synthesis peaks. This is the window skincare is supposed to support. But here is the problem that almost every expensive moisturizer creates. To feel luxurious, to absorb quickly, to smell appealing, premium creams contain ingredients that actively work against that repair window. Fragrance, alcohol, emulsifiers, preservatives. These ingredients are not inert. They are irritants. Low-level, subtle, chronic irritants that trigger inflammation in the barrier while the product is also trying to hydrate it. That is not a conspiracy theory. That is basic formulation chemistry. And it is the reason so many expensive moisturizers produce exactly one result consistently. The skin feels good immediately after application, and then by morning, nothing has changed underneath. Petrolatum has none of those ingredients. It is one substance, pure hydrocarbon, no fragrance, no alcohol, no emulsifiers, nothing that triggers an inflammatory response. Is documented in peer-reviewed research, not in a brand's marketing materials. A study published in the Journal of Allergy and Clinical Immunology found that petrolatum occlusion upregulates filaggrin and loricrin, two of the key structural proteins responsible for rebuilding the skin barrier. It doesn't just seal the surface, it triggers the skin to repair itself from within. Research published in peer-reviewed literature confirms that petrolatum reduces transepidermal water loss, the rate at which moisture evaporates from your skin, by more than 98%. No premium moisturizer comes close to that number. And a clinical study examining barrier recovery found that petrolatum actually accelerated barrier repair, not delayed it, by permeating through the layers of the stratum corneum rather than sitting on top of the skin. That is the opposite of what most people assume it does. Most people think it just sits there. It doesn't. And it creates the conditions for your skin to do what it is designed to do overnight without interference. I want to be direct about something here. The skincare industry is not incompetent. It knows exactly what petrolatum does. Dermatologists have prescribed it for over a century for wound healing, eczema management, and post-procedure skin recovery. It is not some forgotten folk remedy. It is the gold standard in clinical skin repair. The reason it has never been positioned as an anti-aging product has nothing to do with its efficacy. It has everything to do with its price. You cannot build a luxury brand around a $3 ingredient. You cannot justify a $200 price point for something anyone can buy in the first aid aisle. So the industry built a narrative that positioned active ingredients, retinoids, peptides, growth factors as the thing that matters. And it positioned simple occlusives as old-fashioned, unsophisticated, not enough. That narrative serves one purpose. It is not your skin health. And once you see it, You cannot unsee it. Here is what I find remarkable about this. Women have been spending significant money for decades on products that are attempting, with varying success, to do something a $3 product does more effectively. That is not a small thing. That is a fundamental mismatch between what the market sells and what the biology actually needs. Now let's be specific, because the viral videos get this wrong. They treat Vaseline like a magic substance you apply and wake up transformed. That is not how it works. And if you apply it incorrectly, you get none of the benefit. Here is the mechanism that makes it effective. Petrolatum does not add moisture to the skin. It cannot. It seals whatever moisture is already present. This means the state of your skin at the moment of application is everything. Apply it to dry skin, and you seal in dryness. Apply it to skin that is slightly damp, and you keep moisture in place. After cleansing, while the barrier still holds water, and you seal in hydration. That single distinction is the difference between Vaseline that works and Vaseline that does nothing. Here is the correct sequence. Cleanse with a gentle, low pH cleanser. Not a foaming one, not anything that strips. Pat your face until it is mostly dry, but not completely. Leave it slightly damp. Then apply whatever serum or treatment you use. Allow 60 seconds for it to begin absorbing. Then apply a thin layer of petrolatum over the top. Not thick, not a mask, a thin, even layer. What happens next is where the biology takes over. The petrolatum permeates into the upper layers of the stratum corneum. It creates a semi-occlusive environment, slowing transepidermal water loss dramatically, while still allowing the skin to breathe and run its natural repair cycle underneath. The key word there is semi-occlusive. This is what the research found that surprised even the scientists studying it. Petrolatum does not create an impermeable seal. It creates a permeable one that slows water loss without blocking the biological processes your skin runs overnight. That is why it accelerates barrier recovery rather than impeding it. Your skin is not being smothered. It is being given the optimal environment to do what it was always designed to do. There are specific areas where this matters most. Under the eyes, where the skin is thinnest and loses moisture fastest overnight. Apply the smallest possible amount, less than a grain of rice for both eyes, gently tapped along the orbital bone after any eye treatment. Around the mouth, where repeated daily movement creates lines that deepen when the skin is dehydrated. A small amount here overnight keeps that skin supple and reduces the mechanical creasing that happens when dry skin folds against a pillow. The neck, which most routines ignore entirely, and which has fewer oil glands and thinner skin than the face. Everything that applies to the face overnight applies to the neck more urgently. And the hands. The skin on the back of the hands has almost no fat underneath it, minimal oil gland activity, and loses moisture through constant exposure all day. Hands seal on a wash, then seal on Vaseline before bed. Inside cotton gloves if you can. And within a week, the texture difference is visible. This is the part I think matters most. Not just why petrolatum works, but why so many expensive products actively undermine the process they claim to support. Fragrance is the biggest one. And I say this knowing that fragrance is one of the most common ingredients in premium skincare. Fragrance, synthetic or natural, is a known skin sensitizer. It triggers an immune response in the barrier, even when you cannot feel it happening. That immune response generates inflammation. That inflammation degrades collagen, which means a product designed to support overnight skin repair is simultaneously triggering the process that accelerates aging every night while you sleep. That is not a fringe claim. That is established dermatological knowledge that the industry has never had an incentive to put in its marketing materials. Alcohol is the second one. Alcohol is used in premium formulations to create a lighter texture, to help other ingredients penetrate faster, to produce that clean, non-greasy finish that feels sophisticated. It also disrupts the acid mantle, strips the lipid layer, and leaves the barrier more permeable than it was before application. More permeable means more water loss overnight, which is the opposite of what the product is supposed to do. And here's the thing about this that I find genuinely frustrating. These are not obscure formulation problems. Dermatologists know them, cosmetic chemists know them, the brands know them, but the consumer is rarely told because the product still feels good, still smells good, still creates a sensory experience that reads as luxury. And luxury is what the price point requires. Petrolatum has no luxury experience. It is not pleasant to apply. It feels greasy. It has no scent. It comes in a jar that costs $3. But at a biological level, it does the job more completely than almost anything else available. That's the trade-off. And once you understand it, it becomes a very easy trade to make. This channel is not here to tell you what to buy. It is here to explain what is actually happening to your skin and why. The biology underneath the product, the mechanism underneath the marketing. Because when you understand the mechanism, the decisions become obvious. You stop paying for the jar. You start paying attention to the function. Next video goes into something most women are doing in their morning routine that is quietly working against everything they do the night before. If this breakdown was useful, leave a like. Drop a comment below. Have you been using Vaseline? Or does this change whether you will? And if you haven't subscribed, this is what we put out every week. It is worth staying for.